I think if she truly was like, I'm out of here, I'm starting my own league, she'd have people lining up, including myself, and she would put the WNBA out of business.
Okay, so did you guys catch that bombshell Dave Portnoy just dropped about the WNBA? He's back at it, sticking up for Caitlin Clark after Cathy Engelbert basically insulted her. But this wasn't just another rant from him. Nope, he actually came out with an offer so huge it could seriously shake up the entire WNBA. He's talking about partnering with her and giving her $100 million. That's a huge, huge deal.
The biggest offer that she's gotten, so.
If she would have let me be her agent, I would have in a second. And if she's like, I'll start a new league with you, I would get her whatever you want.
Look, a lot of fans, just like Portnoy, believe the WNBA is only really in the spotlight right now because of Caitlin Clark. And honestly, the way the league and Engelbert have been treating her, it feels super unfair, even humiliating. So that's why he's throwing $100 million out there. He wants Caitlin to walk away and just start her own thing. Now, if you think Caitlin Clark should totally take this offer and change the game forever, you gotta go Clark in the comments.
If Caitlin Clark said, I'm taking my ball and I'm going home and I'm starting my own league, the WNBA would be done in 2 seconds.
But here's the part.
Here's what people aren't really talking about. This wasn't just some random freakout from Portnoy. He actually laid out a whole plan to convince Caitlin, and honestly, it looks like she might actually consider it. So how likely is she to take this deal? And if she does, could this really be the end for the WNBA as we know it? Let's break it down. Dave Portnoy. You know, he's a huge name when it comes to the WNBA. We all know him for his honest, sometimes wild rants. But this time, he went a step further, a historic step even. What he said is basically the WNBA's worst nightmare. In his latest interview, he made it super clear. If Caitlin Clark ever decides to launch her own league, he'd be right there backing her. Not only that, he promised to pour a massive $100 million into it. He said partner with her, give her $100 million. That's just enormous.
The biggest offer that she's gotten, so.
If she would have let me be her agent, I would have in a second. And if she's like, I'll start a new league with you, I would get her whatever you want.
Now let me just say this. Dave Portnoy isn't messing around here. He is dead serious. If you know anything about him, you know he's already super invested in a bunch of sports businesses. So when he goes on live TV and drops a bomb like this, you know he's not kidding. That's exactly why the WNBA is in such an uncomfortable spot right now. But here's the real kicker. Dave didn't just toss out an offer, he doubled down. It almost felt like he was actively trying to convince Caitlin Clark to say yes. He really looks determined to make this whole thing happen.
I didn't hear no lies in that. I heard no lies. I just got to keep it real. He kept it
100 million. I'm gonna break down exactly what Dave said, word for word. But first, we really need to get the full story on why this massive offer even came up. Because once you see all the mistakes, the blunders, and frankly the humiliations that Cathy Engelbert in the WNBA have thrown at Caitlin Clark lately, you'll totally get why Dave Portnoy jumped in with such a wild proposal. And more importantly, you'll understand why Caitlin Clark has a ton of reasons to actually accept it. So, how did this whole storm actually kick off? Just a few days ago, Nafisa Collier dropped a bombshell during her exit interview. She exposed this private conversation she had with Cathy Engelbert. And wow, she really risked her whole career by saying all that on live camera. She revealed that Cathy Engelbert basically told her WNBA players should be on their knees for everything Cathy has done for them.
And in that same conversation, she told me players should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars for the media rights deal that I got them. That's a mentality driving our league from the top. We go to battle every day to protect a shield that doesn't value us.
I mean, seriously, that was easily one of the most arrogant things a commissioner could ever say, right? But what she said about Caitlin Clark, that was even more shocking. Cathy Engelbert actually told Nafisa that Caitlin Clark should basically be grateful to the league She said every single dollar Caitlyn is making from her brand deals is only happening because of the WNBA.
Her response was, Caitlyn should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court, because without the platform that the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything.
Now here's the thing. Those were just totally shameless and spiteful comments against the league's absolute brightest superstar. Kathy should have never said anything like that. And just like you'd expect, the backlash was immediate. The entire basketball world was boiling over, and everyone was demanding one thing: fire Kathy Engelbert.
Kathy Engelbert needs to resign. You don't act like that! You don't act like that! And she should apologize.
But just when everyone was super furious about those comments, another huge debate totally exploded out of nowhere. Seriously, nobody, and I mean nobody, could have seen this one coming. The debate was this: did Kathy's shocking claims actually have some truth to them? Suddenly, every single player, every analyst, every media person started digging into the numbers, and what they found. It was a brutal revelation. It landed like a total slap right across the commissioner's face. And while all the big names were revealing shocking stuff, what Dave Portnoy said was an absolute mic drop moment. He just flat out said the WNBA has always been around. But honestly, nobody really knew about it. Nobody cared. And then, suddenly, because of Caitlin Clark and a few other rising stars, the whole world finally realized the WNBA even existed.
Listen, this may say a lot about my WNBA knowledge. If you threw Asia Wilson's name at me like 2 years ago, I'm not sure I really would have known who that is. I certainly would have known who Nafisa Collier is. Like, yes, I knew the bigger stars, and those are as big, but like I'm talking to Diana Taurasi, but I wasn't locked in on this league. Everything has changed. The ratings, starting with Caitlyn in college, and then with the Angel rivalry and all the stuff, it exploded.
And get this, the biggest proof of all, it's in the ratings. Just look at the Fever's games last season. Some of them actually pulled in ratings that were higher than even some NBA matchups. Seriously.
I mean, last season was insane, and you can look at the ratings too. And I think there was, like, the Fever numbers actually were better than some NBA teams' numbers when it came.
When it came to viewership last season, the fact is super clear. This league got boosted to a whole new level, all because of Caitlin Clark. When Caitlin plays, fans are there. When she doesn't, nobody really cares. It's that simple. If you try to deny that truth, you're basically just setting the league on fire from the inside. And sure, on one hand, it shows how dangerously dependent the WNBA is on just one player. But on the other hand, it also highlights the massive potential the league could tap into if they just harnessed this Clark effect.
80s, for example, when Magic Johnson and Larry Bird took the NBA by storm and they were winning championships, competing for championships, but then this dude named Michael Jordan came along. And Michael Jordan came along and he wasn't yet winning championships, but his popularity was so astronomical that the NBA practically marketed everything they could around this guy. So to know that there's an example like that as a shining example to be followed that could benefit the league, particularly down the road, why is that an issue when we've seen that such a marketing plan has worked in the past?
And yet,
the WNBA, man, they just aren't getting it. Instead of grabbing this once-in-a-generation opportunity, they're just letting it slip right through their fingers. And the absolute worst part, they're actually openly insulting the very player that fans are paying to come out and see.
But for some reason, they want to alienate her. It's like they want her to suffer coming in. You just never seen anything like it where the commissioner doesn't seem to value the stars or the golden goose. So
it's just pure insanity, total self-destruction. It's like they're literally cutting down the very branch they're standing on. You know? And that's exactly the level of frustration Dave Portnoy was feeling when he went on camera and dropped this stunning offer. So now you totally get it. He was just putting into words what every single Caitlin Clark fan was already feeling for her.
I think if she truly was like, I'm out of here, I'm starting my own league, she'd have people lining up, including myself, and she would put the WNBA out of business. I really do believe that. I think she's that powerful for the whole league. And pay the others. Like, money talks. Like, if you get the money lined up and you get the superstars, like, oh, you can only make $1 million here, you can make 5 with our league. I think it would work.
But let me tell you the full truth here. Dave isn't just saying all this because he's a huge Caitlin Clark fan. He's a sharp businessman. And when he's talking about investing $100 million, you know, those aren't just empty words. In his interview, they made it super clear. Women's basketball is absolutely on the rise. Right now, it's one of the smartest business ventures you could possibly invest in. It's right up there with AI and all those other booming industries.
Dave, right now amongst the billionaire class, sports seem to be like the next big investment wave, right? Especially with all other entertainment kind of going AI. Like, this is going to be where human beings are still telling stories on the field, on the court, where everybody wants to put in their money.
And Dave didn't just throw the idea out there and leave it. He actually laid out the exact plan for how he could make this league super profitable if he were running it.
I could make far more revenue, and I 100% believe this, for the WNBA, for Caitlin individually.
Because let's be real, the demand is already there. The fans are totally ready. Just put Caitlin Clark in the best games, give people something truly worth watching, and the money, it'll absolutely follow. It's simple math. But here's the part that really got everyone. It almost sounded like Dave was directly trying to talk Caitlin Clark into this. He brought up her current sponsorship deals, and then just flat out said what she's making there is absolutely nothing compared to what she could make if she joined him.
The worst negotiated deal I've ever seen in my life. That Nike got away with murder with what they paid her. So you just aren't valuing it. Anybody could sell that. That's like, is Roger Goodell really responsible for all these great NFL deals? Or is it the NFL can play with scab players on strike and still fill up seats? Like, you don't have to be, when the product is there and it's talked about and people are watching.
And if anyone out there thinks $100 million isn't enough, guess what? Dave already had a comeback ready. He explained he could easily bring in multiple billionaires to join the project, just to pour even more money into this brand new league.
You don't think Caitlin Clark could line up billionaire investors and start and just get all these players to come with her if they're going to pay a lot more?
Oh, so you see, Dave Portnoy looks deadly serious about this whole thing. And Caitlin Clark? She's in the perfect spot to actually take this offer and just start her own league. Because honestly, the fans have already made it super clear. They'll follow Caitlin wherever she goes. But let's just hit pause here for a second, guys, and ask the big question. What has Caitlin Clark actually said about all this? Is she even ready to accept an offer like this? Well, here's the truth. Caitlin Clark herself hasn't directly responded to Dave's $100 million bombshell, but Dave did admit that, for now, Caitlin seems pretty locked in with the WNBA. She's fully devoted to her favorite team.
I don't think she'll ever do that. Like, I talk with her never about that stuff, but based on, she has State Farm, Nike, Gatorade. Those are like blue blood. She never runs a Tom Brady in a way. Like, very rarely, if ever, publicly says anything that like should cause any waves. She's kind of like been a good trooper for the Fever and the league. So I think she wants to make the WNBA.
You can call that devotion, or maybe you call it loyalty. But one thing's for sure. Right now, Caitlin is giving everything she has to the WNBA. And honestly, for the league, that's pretty much the opportunity of a lifetime. So, that's the full story so far. But if you're a Caitlin Clark fan, you already know just how explosive this would be if she just picked up her ball and started her own league. That would be the ultimate revenge against the WNBA and Kathy Engelbert for sure. So what do you guys think? Should Caitlin keep fighting for the WNBA? Or should she actually accept this offer that's already on the table and totally change the game forever? And with that, don't forget to hit that subscribe button because we've got even bigger stories coming your way.